The biography of the quarterback comes out in September. All right, let's go to Baltimore, where it'll be tough sledding to start this 2025 season. Their first 6 opponents combined for a .647 winning percentage in 2024, second hardest in the NFL behind only the Browns. 5 of Baltimore's first 6 opponents made the playoffs last year. The lone exception is the Browns in Week 2. After that rough stretch, the Ravens get a well-deserved rest during their bye week in Week 7. RC, how do you see the Ravens start to the season shaping out?
I mean, listen, the Ravens are going to start this season as they always do in the regular season. I believe that they'll still be dominant. You know, we mostly pick apart or critique the Ravens for the way that they win during the season. Think back to 2 years ago where they had all of these big games against division-leading opponents as Lamar Jackson was on his way to a second MVP, and there were dominant performances against the Detroit Lions, dominant performances on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. Derrick Henry is back. Lamar Jackson will return to the MVP form that we saw him play at throughout most of his career, and this defense gets its second year under their defensive coordinator. I mean, rough times, tough times, all the times, Ravens gonna win 5 of those 6 games.
Woo, all right, I like it, I agree. Let's talk about the Patriots, okay? In New England, Mike Vrabel, this era begins with one of the easier strength of schedules. That's a nice gift when that happens. The Patriots are set up for some success this year. Their opponents had a .429 winning percentage last season. That's the lowest of any AFC team and the 3rd lowest in the NFL, trailing only the 49ers and Saints. Shefty, when you look at the Patriots schedule, what are you watching for specifically?
Well, when we look at it, Laura, last year, the Patriots were not favored in a single game all year long. This year, they're expected to be favored in 10 or 11 games. So that is quite a turn of events in New England, and it portends to the type of season that the Patriots are capable of having under Mike Vrabel. There could be a dramatic turnaround there, the way there was in Denver and in Washington last season, with Mike Vrabel leading the way and this team being favored as often as it is with one of the easiest strength of schedules in the entire National Football League.
Yeah, you saw the flashes from Drake May, too. They're close in a lot of ways, especially if they can protect him. Adam, stay out of the ground right now. Some more news out of New England today. What's the latest on Christian Barmore?
He missed most of last season due to blood clots, Laura, and today he said that he's been cleared for all football activity. So think of all the moves that the Patriots made during the offseason. Now you get back a tremendous young defensive lineman with great news about his own personal health, with him now being able to play and to be a factor for the upcoming season after he could not play for most of all of last season.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear for him and also for the Patriots. I think there are probably some people that forgot about him. Love it. Well, Star Wars from the Eagles. Hey, Week 2 features a rematch of the Super Bowl, Eagles and Chiefs. What a showdown this will be, of course. Early on, too, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts on either side. But you also have a Philly defense that's hoping for significant contributions from young guys, many others departing. Of course, a KCO line. They've tried to rebuild this offseason to protect Patrick Mahomes. And it's just the 3rd time that teams that met in the previous Super Bowl faced each other in the first 2 weeks of a season. The others were in Week 1, 2016, when the Broncos beat the Panthers after winning the Super Bowl 50, and Week 2, 1993, when the Bills beat the Cowboys after losing Super Bowl 27 by 35 points. So we thought we'd have some fun today, okay, with the defending champs. RC, let's play the predictor game for the Eagles season.
Okay.
Take us through each week and give us the wins and losses. And I'm going to populate it on the iPad right here. So if I don't like what you pick, I'm going to change it. Just kidding.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're going with game 1. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Listen, it's going to be rocking in that stadium. They're going to be in Philly. They're going to be representing themselves as the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs. I give them a win. They're going to go to Kansas City, and we're going to find out very early if Kansas City can protect Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say they start the season out 1-1. I give them a win over the Rams. I give them a win at the Bucks. I give them a win over the Broncos. I give them a win over the Giants. But at the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy's going to just get to cooking. Kevin O'Connell's going to be in his bag a little bit. We know what that defense is going to look like. I'm going to give them a L against the Vikings because I remember a primetime game a couple of years ago that had Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown face-to-face ready to do a little dance. And the Giants, okay, we know that's another win win. Monday Night Football at the Packers. This one's tricky. This gets tricky, but I'm going to give them a loss at the Packers. They're going to find a way to avenge their loss in the playoffs. A win on Sunday night versus the Lions. A win against the Cowboys in Week 12. I believe we have that game. A win against the Bears. Ooh, at Chargers, Monday Night Football, that's going to be an L. That's going to be an L for Philadelphia. Wow. I think Justin Herbert will be cooking. Jim Harbaugh understands primetime games. A win against the Raiders. Let's go. Loss at Commanders. Win against the loss against the Bills. Win against the Commanders at home to finish the season.
11-6. Mina, what do you think?
I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right.
What do you think?
I'm going to hit the over on Ryan's win total because a few of those losses. I do think the beginning of the schedule is real tricky, right? Because, Ryan, if I have one question about this team, it's the change of coordinator. You got some tricky defenses there that like to do interesting things with pressure, so you could get us a couple of surprising losses. You did the Chiefs. I'm looking at, like, the Broncos and the Rams. But all in all, I'll probably go 12-5. I'm going to Price is Right at you.
Oh, so you're going to go one game?
One over.
One game, Mina?
She took the over.
I'm not even going to say which one.
Okay, we're not going to make you actually make a decision there, Mina. That's all good. Adam, what do you think when you look at what Ryan's chosen here for the defending Super Bowl champs?
Well, won and lost marks are always a lot easier to do in mid-May than they are during the season when the games start and injuries start happening and circumstances on teams change. But right now, 11-12 wins. Ryan, Mina, they seem to be right in the range for the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting in that the team that last year they had to hold off the Washington Commanders, they don't meet the Commanders until week 16 and then play the Commanders twice in 3 weeks to end the season. Who knows what both teams are even going to have on the line at that point in time, whether or not they will or won't be alive, whether or not they will or will not have clinched something. By then, lots of questions up in the air. We'll see how it plays out.
That's a wild way to end the season on both sides, right? The Eagles, by the way, have the 4th hardest schedule in the NFL. All right, RC, how about the defending AFC champion Chiefs, since we're talking about the teams that were in the Super Bowl. So here we are. We're going to do it again, and we're going to see their schedule pop up here. And then now your turn once again to be predictor. Go ahead.
Hey, well, listen, I got them beating the Chargers week 1. We already saw that I had them beating the Eagles in week 2. I got them whipping the Giants on Sunday Night Football, a loss to the Ravens. Okay, now on Monday Night Football, they're going to beat the Travis Hunter-led Jacksonville Jaguars. Lions Sunday night. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. I'm going to go the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Raiders again. Now, it's going to be an L against the Commanders on Monday Night Football. I remember the first time getting a chance to see Jaden Daniels play against the Cincinnati Bengals, making big plays. Another loss to the Bills. Then they get a bye. Everybody wins on bye week. I have a win against the Broncos, a win against the Colts. I have a win against the Cowboys, a Sunday night loss to the Texans. Yeah, that's right. I said it. A Sunday night loss to the Texans. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Titans. They're going to beat the Broncos, and they're going to rest against the Raiders, so that'll be another loss. I don't think that's right because probably 12-5 they won't be able to rest. So give me beating the Raiders too. They're going to win 13.
The old switcheroo at the end.
You changed it. Wow.
I did. Honestly, like I actually a couple times forgot that this was my job to do the schedule. I was so wrapped up in what you're doing, so I'm glad we kind of ended up on the same page here. Mina, what's your take?
I'm going to go a little under this time. I'm going to have them lose in one of those Broncos games. I think that defense picks up right where they left off. And then I'm looking at that week 2-3 stretch, Eagles, Giants. Yes, Giants. I kind of think they lose one of those games. This offensive line is undergoing a lot of change, particularly on the left side. The Eagles were, of course, a house of horrors for this team in the Super Bowl. Oh, maybe make it the Eagles and not the Giants.
I made an executive decision. Mina, what are you talking
pick
about?
Pick one specifically.
You said.
Pick
I'm thinking
one
about that Giants D-line. I'm thinking Abdul.
I'm not going to have lose to the Giants.
Fine.
Okay,
Look,
never mind.
Okay, we're gonna. Okay, they're winning that one, and then they're going to lose to the Eagles. There we go. We fixed it.
Yeah, there we go.
That's probably
I'm a little bit wary of this Chiefs
correct.
Offensive line. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the Chiefs offensive line, particularly early in the season, Ryan. Particularly
Makes
early
sense. Adam.
Well, they're mentioning the offensive line. I would say this, that this may just be the single toughest division and the most division challenges that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have faced since he started as the Chiefs starting quarterback and took over that job from Alex Smith. The Denver Broncos should be improved over where they were last year. The Chargers in the second year under Jim Harbaugh should be that much tougher. And the Raiders have a new head coach, a new attitude, a new running back that's going to be able to help carry that offense. I see huge division challenges all across the board for the Chiefs, making it difficult for them to finish in the type of spot with as many wins as they normally do.
Well, the Chiefs are co-favorites with the Eagles to win the Super Bowl at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at 6-1. But it's very early, as we know. Let's get to some top stories with Adam Schefter. Let's start, Adam, in Indianapolis. What's going on there?
Well, we saw these social media departments, Laura, love to post their schedule release stories. The Colts mocked Tyreek Hill and had to delete the post and issue an apology to Tyreek Hill today. Now, Tyreek Hill, according to his agent, felt like they were joking, wasn't offended by it, but the Colts nevertheless did apologize, did delete the video, and obviously they wish they could take that back right now. Meanwhile, yesterday, the Baltimore Ravens got done a big new contract extension for their big-time running back Derrick Henry. 2 years, $30 million, $25 million guaranteed. And we've seen some of these big-time running backs get big-time deals this offseason. Saquon Barkley gets extended in Philadelphia, and now Derrick Henry has been extended in Baltimore. And the owners have voted on flag football, at least introduced a resolution to have it under consideration for next week, whereby each team could send a player to the 2028 Olympics. They'll discuss the issue in the league meetings in Minneapolis next week, but it certainly looks like the league is supporting and pushing and hoping that players can play in the 2028 Olympic Games. We'll see how much consideration it does get at next week's meetings.
Rồi móc tiếp. Đấy, mình móc lần lượt cho đến hết. Tiếp tục những mũi còn lại nha. Mũi nữa này. Đấy, mình làm lần lượt như này được. Nó sẽ nổi trên cái nền đen. Tiếp những mũi nữa. Móc xuống tiếp. Đấy, làm lần lượt cho đến hết. Mình tiếp tục mình móc nha, móc hết cái giải này. Tiếp nha mọi người. Đây, móc xuống.